Hey guys, what's up? This is Shared Talking. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video will be about War of the Visions, and we will be discussing the raid system. Well, we just got this with the recent update, and the raid system is here to stay. We will always have new bosses and new challenges and new rewards, and understanding it's very important for you to take advantage of it. So here on the home screen you can see that we have a button called raid with the current raid boss, and it will also show you a window called active when it's when the boss is active or not. Right now it's not active. We'll be talking about it. We can also find the raid button by going to far plane, and we have the same boss here. Show you this screen here. We have ongoing, reinforcements, and end buttons. Ongoing is the place you go to face your own raid boss. Reinforcements is for you to join another raid bosses with other people, and end is just the information about your past results. We also have this 5 orbs here called ends in, and it has a 5. You actually don't need to spend your orbs, and they work very different than the other orbs like the arena orbs. We'll be talking about this later. So you can also use the kick search to find other rooms with people facing their own raid bosses and asking for help. You can change the settings to be one that matches your own current level, and search options to include your friends or guild members. But we'll be talking about the multiplayer later. Right now we want this boss to appear, and I will show you how you can do this. It's very similar to Mach Shop and also the Chocobo Fever that you find when you're finishing on stage, but only that it doesn't need all that much energy to spawn. So you can simply choose any PvE that you can do by yourself, and let's see what we can do here. Right now we have the book quest, and it's always a very good place to farm. It uses 12 energy and also has a drop for seals and growled eggs. This is why I always go to this page to farm. So right here we can click on this, and I'll be talking about it. Usually to make a raid boss to spawn, you have to spend between 30 and 50 energy. So 3 runs of this will most likely make a raid boss to appear, but you have to turn off auto repeat. It's off right now because this game changed very recently with some of update that it doesn't stop the game when you get a Mach Shop or Chocobo Fever to appear. It will be the same thing with the raid boss. So if you leave this on auto, you will spend all your energy without knowing if the boss already spawning or not. So just go, click on embark, and just wait for every end of stage to see if the boss is spawning or not. I will just embark here on the stage and try to do some runs, and when the boss spawns, I'll get back to you. So I just got the boss to appear. I had to use 48 energy. You can challenge it now or later. I suggest you guys to challenge it now because you can kind of forget about it. So now that the boss finally spawned, we have this encounter, and it says you because you made it spawn. It's information about the boss itself. We can click on challenge. It's just like a multiplayer room. You can click on challenge again. There's solo play, 2 players, and also 4 players. So you can choose each one of them, and the one that matches you the most. But solo play is recommended for when you're starting the raid, because you can try to understand how it works and which one of your characters does more damage, if you need support, if you don't need, and what's the best position and things like that. But 2 players, and it says multiplayer, but you can actually only use 2 units here instead of using 4. You can start by calling it multiplayer and do not let anyone enter, and just use 2 units. It's a very good strategy actually. Or you can simply call 3 more players to join you and play together. So for this video I'll be doing the ScherBR setup. I call it a multiplayer, but I'll be only using my 2 units. I won't request for reinforcement, at least not for now. While I still can do it by myself, I will be doing solo. And I'm using 2 units here, Stern and Gafgaram, because Orlando is pretty resisted on this stage. So I think this is a good combination. Renza also works pretty fine, but I don't have a 4th unit. These 2 alone deal more damage than 4-man squad. Why, you ask me? I will tell you just shortly. Just let me talk about another thing. It's just that you can see here in on embark, you see first try is free, meaning that if we defeat the boss with this run, we won't waste any raid orb. It is very important to keep claiming without spending raid orbs, at least for the start. Well, let's just click here on embark and see. It says that we can embark by oneself. But if you're having difficulty, you can call for help. There are some things that we need to take and notice just when the battle starts. You have 20 actions left to defeat the boss. And there are also some minions on the stage, but you don't really have to defeat them. You can use them to get some AP. But if you leave this on auto, your units will probably waste their AP killing them. So this is maybe a good time for you to play on manual. It's just that I'm still doing fine with auto battle, so I'll be doing this. And like I said, Orlando is pretty resistant because of the element of the chocolate flan. It's earth. Depending on the raid, you have to choose well your units. So this is why I said that a two-man squad can work pretty well, because it takes actions left. So 2 units, you still work the same as 4-man squad, just that they are the only ones doing damage and choosing new actions. And also this is why Aggie is not so important on raid. You kinda can get attack the boss more often, but the best strategy would be to steal time if you have a thief, but that would be better with a 4-man squad. See, I have only 8 actions left. It seems like Stern just wasted 1 turn without doing nothing. As you can see, I'm pretty close to not being able to defeat the boss with the number of actions I have. So I need to start asking for friends to help me defeat the boss. Yeah, he was dying with 2 actions left. My Stern is still not well developed. I can make a better weapon for him, and I can also increase his bravery. He was being trained, but still far from ideal. So this is why I'm just showing you guys how different it can be by playing with 2 units instead of 4. There's some strategies that can be done with this, but if you are starting, I still recommend you using your 4 units so they can buff themselves better, they can work. You can also use steal time with a thief if you have it. And also on most multiplayer rooms you will find people using either mages, especially Mediana, or just Lucius, because Lucia can deal quadruple damage and a lot of hits, a lot of chain damage. They can use 3 Lucia and 1 thief using steal time, and it will be very, very good. But it is what it is. If you don't have those units, if you don't have all the power, you can only do what you can do best, and just choosing your best units. So we now defeated the boss, and we got some rewards by defeating it. We got some rewards by just participating. And we'll be talking about rewards on this raid system. You see that we have the currency. They are called raid medals, and just by challenging it, being the host, you get these medals. This is nice. And by participating in any battle, be it yours or from other people, you'll be getting these based on the level as well. Victory rewards are a little better. You can get some materials to craft a new item that's on this raid. All raids will have a new item for you to craft, but it can take quite a lot of time because it needs a lot of items, it needs a lot of metals, because the recipe won't drop from the game. You have to just purchase it with your metals, and it can be very, very costly. We'll be talking about this shortly after. And ranking rewards, just by the seasonal rewards, you can see that you will get something on the end of the raid, but it's mostly for dedicated players or whales, because the rewards are good, but not all that good, I think. Even the medal seems a little better than the rewards. And you can think of this just like top 1000 will be whales, or just very dedicated players. You should aim between this tier, or this tier. And it's good because it will give you some accuracy hammer as well. It's a good hammer for the accessory they are giving you by the reward system. So now you got a lot of medals. You want to go to Mach Shop to see what you can do with those medals. So there are quite a lot of items for you to purchase, but it can be a little misleading if you think that you should get all of this. It's impossible, guys. It's pretty impossible. You have to make some names here, and I think that very important items are still the Rainbow Rock and the Rainbow Vision Sphere. These are your priorities. There's 2 Rainbow Rocks and 3 Rainbow Vision Spheres. There's quite a lot of farming just to get this. And if you want the Legendary Ring, I would say it's almost impossible to get it to +5 with just this raid. But the good thing is that another raid will appear. It will be a different boss, but you will still be able to purchase this recipe. So you can get this to +5 if you want. But it's still a very long and grindy process. You have to remember that Ultra Rare recipes will spend way more crafting resources and more than 1,700 bucks just for crafting this to +5. It's not an easy task, and maybe if you want this for Lucia and on some other units, it's still very grindy. Just don't think you'll be able to get this on this raid. We also have some shards from the new vision card. It's not a very good vision card, it's an average one. I don't think it's all that good. Maybe if you have time left, you can just get these shards. So the prisms isn't, and the rocks are maybe too costly for you to try to get because of the most important thing still being the Rainbow Rock and the Rainbow Vision Sphere. On the end of it, you see some things like burst spots being a little less costly. These may be good, but still are low rarity items. I don't know if it's okay to purchase them. And in the end, we have Energy Restore M. As you can see, energy plays a pretty important phase on this raid system. If you don't have much energy, you won't be able to spawn the boss too much. You will only be able to join other people's raids and just do that. So what you can do is just purchase 5 of this each day. You can purchase 5, and if you don't have other sources of energy, this will help you get more bosses to spawn. And it kind of pays itself because getting more energy means more bosses. Bosses means more rewards. More rewards means that you'll be able to purchase more energy even every single day. So let's just get back here and just talk about multiplayer. When you don't have your energy and you just want to join other people's raids, you can also do that if you only have 1 strong unit. If you don't have a full squad or your last 2 units, they are very strong. You can simply click on reinforcements and see which people are asking for help. It's a little strange. You see here on the top there's this person that are asking for some help, but it's a level 80 Chocolate Flan. And it's also here for a lot of time, because when you call for help, it means that it still have 10 hours of it since it's spawned. So 1 hour and a half, more or less, and no one joined it yet. Simply because it's very high. I don't know if everyone knows how to defeat it. And you can see there's people asking for Mediana. Like I said, it's because this boss is weak to missile and magic attacks and resistant to the other types, but Mediana does a lot of damage with Flare if you have her maxed. Maybe just join the ones that you know that you can defeat. Some of them you can see here, either Lucia or Thief. Optimize the cards and seal time and chains. Chains are very important here, especially with Lucia. So this is it. Maybe you won't find what you want, but you can do a quick search and just suggest the raid level you are. Like, if you don't have too much strength, just go for the low levels and search options. You can also try to get friends to help you or some guild members to try to join their rooms. So it's also good to join as reinforcements because you can still get a lot of rewards. You may not get the one from hosting, but it's still good enough. And clicking on it, you show you the results from your past raids. You can see here, these 2 last ones was from me. I cleared them by myself, so I have these reinforcements. It's just when I joined some other people. So have this in mind. So let me get back here. And I think this is... Maybe you won't have all the units that are good to be used on raid, because it needs a thief with steal time, and it's people that have access to strong units like Lucia, especially Lucia because of the multi-hit abilities. So I think this is it, guys. I think this covers everything. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see each other on the next one. Bye.